Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about is Warframe worth playing in 2025? We're going to be covering three main topics in this video: what there is to do in Warframe, why it's actually fun, and we're going to set the expectations of the grind that's expected of you to actually play the game totally free to play. Starting off with point number one, what there is to do in Warframe, we have this entire star chart of planets, and it's actually rumored that in the next big livestream event for Warframe's developers, they're going to be showing off the Tau system, which is actually going to expand on this navigation menu and give us even more planets. But if we go ahead and we click on any of the planets that there are, let's take Earth as an example, you can see many different missions just sitting here. Then we can travel to, let's say, Venus, which is the second planet of the game, and you can see a ton of different missions here too. Some of these planets are actually home to unique open worlds that can be found within Warframe's universe. So where we are right now, this is Fortuna. This place came out around 2018. This is one of Warframe's biggest updates. These different open world areas have very unique sort of like NPCs and stuff like that have quirky things about them. They're just basically their own faction. They have their own story and stuff like that. From that environment with all of the NPCs, we can take this elevator, and that leads us into the Orb Vallis. This is one of Warframe's open worlds that you can go ahead and just explore. If I go ahead and hold M, you can see how big the map is, and you can just go ahead and fly around it in your Archwing. All of the environments wouldn't really mean anything if there wasn't some cool quests to do within them. So if we go ahead and we click into the main quest tab, you can see that in the main quests, we have about 19 different quests in here. These are all cinematic quests that have their own unique stories. Then you have a bunch of Warframe quests for specific Warframes, and then even more side quests as well to just build up the entire Warframe universe. Exploring the star chart and completing all of the quests within Warframe opens up the possibility to engage with different factions found within the Warframe universe. You can build reputation with these factions and get access to many different rewards, such as mods to upgrade your Warframes and weapons, or even just completely new weapons too. As you play the game, you're going to come across different parts for 60 different Warframes, so there's a lot of different characters in this game with a lot of different playstyles for you to test out. There are literally thousands of different upgrades that you can equip to your characters and weapons to make them stronger as well. Then once you're done upgrading your Warframes and weapons, you can take part in some of Warframe's endgame content like Elite Deep Archimedia, where we get all of these different modifiers applied to our Warframes and then the missions that we play for some cool endgame rewards on a weekly basis. In recent years, Digital Extremes have definitely stepped up their narrative game with Warframe, because over behind Mr. Rittenhouse D386 over here is Arthur Nightingale. This is a new character added into the Warframe universe, voiced by none other than Ben Starr himself. He's the voice actor for Clive from Final Fantasy 16, if you've played that. So the story, at least in my opinion, is getting more and more interesting because they're putting effort into developing these more unique and lovable characters.
Keep your eyes open, Marty.
They've put a lot of effort into developing this texting system, which is very unique, where we can go and we can talk to all of the different characters that they've added into the game one-on-one, so we can learn about their backstory and also even develop relationships with them. As you're playing through the game for the first time, you'll be encouraged to upgrade your Warframes and weapons, and if you've played the game before, you might have thought that the upgrading was a little bit like one-dimensional. They've now changed that a little bit, so now there might be, let's say for example a mod which increases the strength of your Warframe. Well, they might have that mod, but then have different implementations of it. So for example, here is that strength mod that we talked about, which whenever you restore your health with an ability, you get even more strength. There are many more examples of mods like this in the game that basically just adds to the fun of developing all of these different loadouts. Every Warframe that you see has 4 unique abilities that you have to learn and then optimize with all of the different mods in the game. And a big part of that is actually going out of your way to grind for all of the different materials, items, weapons, Warframes, etc. You can get everything that is meaningful in this game for absolutely free, bar some of the cosmetics that are prime cosmetics or Tenogen cosmetics. Grinding for all of the different weapons and warframes in this game is really fun, implying you know what to do. So make sure to get subscribed to the channel to become a knower. A lot of the game modes in Warframe, especially the weekly ones, they basically change every single week. So this is Elite Temporal Archimedia that you can see here. You can see that it gives me a selection of 3 different Warframes, 3 different primaries, 3 different secondaries, and 3 different melees. Every single week, my selection of weapons and warframes is going to change, as well as the personal modifiers that you can see here just beneath all of the warframes and weapons, and as well as the missions that I have to complete and their modifiers as well. Every single time that I complete these missions with these modifiers enabled, I'm going to get different rewards from these different, basically like reward boxes. The process to get everything in the game is quite a long and somewhat confusing process if you don't have someone to guide you through it. Just by looking at this menu here, you can see a bunch of different things that you can play up here in the top right hand corner. So you have quests, you have a current event, you have these different alerts, you have some Steel Path alerts, you have invasions, you have syndicate missions, you have void fishers, sorties, Archon hunts, and then if we close that, we have Reeljack, which is an entire other star chart in of itself. Then if we go back again, if I can press escape, go back to my navigation, we then have the Deviri, which has all of these different game modes, and then of course all of the different planets having their own game modes themselves. Then you also have adversaries. There's a ton of different content in this game for you to sink your teeth into for 100% free. So as you play all of the different game modes within Warframe, you're going to get a lot of different blueprints and then resources to then craft whatever is on that blueprint. Then what's going to happen is you're going to start a timer. So if you look at the Excel chart here, you can see that it says 24 hours. If I go ahead and I start crafting this, it's going to take 24 in real life hours for it to complete. So basically what you got to do is you got to farm up a bunch of stuff, start crafting something, and then go do something different. So smart planning is a big part of Warframe. Knowing what to do next while you have something crafting in the background is very important. Constantly having things crafting and on the go as you're playing is your key to, getting as much out of Warframe as possible. Like I can have all of these different Warframe parts crafting all at the same time, and then after a few days have passed, I'll have these new warframes, new weapons, maybe warframe parts, etc., also in my inventory and ready to be used, all while I'm farming up something totally different in the background. Realistically, what is going to determine your enjoyment of Warframe is your knowledge of the game, because if you're somebody who has no idea what they're doing, you're going to jump into this game and feel totally lost. Like you're just going to go ahead, you're going to do the main story quests, and you might get to a point where you feel like you're doing no damage or you don't know where to go to get a specific resource. And that's where you have to rely on YouTubers like myself or maybe the Warframe Wiki, Warframe Twitch streamers, etc. to really show you the way and get you through the game as efficiently as possible. Knowing what quests to do and what order, what weapons to go for, where you can get the resources to build that weapon, and then what amount of forma you need to throw onto that weapon, so then you can throw on the best mods in the game onto said weapon, and also knowing what mods to throw on, that's all part of the big Warframe pie that you gotta eat. Warframe is a game that you can sink a lot of hours into whenever you first pick it up. It gets easier the more that you play it, the more that you understand the game, the more that you make your inventory really fat, the more that you upgrade your warframes and weapons, the easier the game gets. Eventually, it gets to the point where you have to do somewhat chore-like activities, where you have to do, let's say, your daily alerts or your daily faction stand-in rep. Maybe you do your daily sortie, or maybe you do your weekly Archon hunt. You're able to split all of these activities up and have like a little routine for yourself every single week whenever you play, like maybe 1, 2, 3, or 4 times a week. It's definitely like a hub game now where, it's a game that you want to pick up. It's kind of like a no-brainer to have an account and play it whenever you get bored. Warframe is absolutely a game that I recommend getting into in 2025. Just don't play it every single day like some people used to. Only play it about maybe 4 times a week at most, and then play it in a very smart way. Play it in an efficient way. make sure to put together like really strong loadouts so you can do missions efficiently. And then of course, make sure to always be crafting, always have stuff in your foundry ready for you for the next time that you log in, so you always have something fresh to play with when you boot up the game. But anyway guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead, hit that like button below, subscribe for more Warframe content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.